Okay, so the first thing that I will do is to show you that I do not have cross progression activated for Cyberpunk on the PC. So what I'm going to do here is to launch the GOG Galaxy launcher, and then I will launch into Cyberpunk from here. Now, just before I do that, just to be dead clear, what happened a couple of hours ago, I created a CD Projekt Red web account. So I'm going to assume that when I press play from here, it is going to launch the CD Projekt Red web interface. And then I think that is what gives us the ability to then start linking between the PC and the PS5, because of course the PS5 would already have been linked to that during its setup. So what I'm going to do here is just tap on play. Now usually the game would just launch from here, however I think it will now launch something in between. There we go. So this is the interface that I'm talking about here. So this is the CD Projekt Red web interface by the looks of it. Anyway, and nonetheless, what I'm going to do here is to tap play from here within Cyberpunk 2077. Now let me just give that, in fact, you know what I'll do here? I will just speed up through this bit until I get to the main menu for the game. Okay, now that I'm into the main menu, what I'm going to do is go to load game. Now, as we can see here, there are absolutely no saved files. So what I'm now going to do is to switch over onto the PS5. Okay, so the first thing that I'll do is to launch Cyberpunk on my PS5. So let me just launch into that. And I'm just going to speed up through this bit until I get to the main menu. Okay, so now that we're on the main menu, we now need to come down to where it says load game and then enter load game. Now from here, if we have a look into the bottom left hand corner, what we're going to see here is something that says cross progression, and it's got R1 next to it. So just click R1 on your controller. And then what's going to happen here is that it is going to pop up with this QR code here. Now, if you don't have any way of scanning in the QR code so that you can be redirected to the CD Projekt Red website in order to be able to complete this linking and activation, don't worry about it. As we can see here, there is actually a web address option that comes up as well. Now, I've just blurred out the last few characters of that web address because it won't mean anything to anybody else. However, when you do this, you just type that web address into a web browser and it will take you to the same place as where the QR code would take you, so you can continue with the linking and the activation. However, for me, I'm just going to use my iPad to scan in the QR code. So there we go, it's got all of the QR code there, and I'm just going to tap on the link. Okay, now it has gone to the cdprojectred.com website. And so now what I'm going to do is to just click on allow and continue. So let me just tap on there. Okay, now from here you type in the email address that you have got for your CD Projekt Red login, and then after typing in your email, just click on continue, and then a one-time passcode will be sent to the email that you have used for your CD Projekt Red web account. So go to that email address, get that one-time passcode, and then type it into the boxes here. And then once you've typed in that passcode, just hit submit code. And then as we can see there, we now get a sign that says success. You have successfully linked your account with Cyberpunk 2077. You may close this browser window and go back to your device. So what I'm going to do now is to switch over onto my PC. Actually, just something really quick here. I have just done this whole process of activating crossplay, but then when I switch back over to the PC, when I went to my saved games, there was actually no crossplay information in there, or there was actually no game data in there at all as far as saves were concerned. So what this is suggesting to me is that you have to first save a point on the PS5, and then at that point what we're going to have is the shared progression. So what I've done here is to come back to the PS5. Now what I'm going to do is to just force a save from here. So I'm going to click on save game. Now let's see what happens. Okay, so it's now said new save there. So what I'm going to do, in fact it says new save, I'm just going to tap on that. Okay, it says save, and then it's definitely saved something. And if we have a look down here, there's a cloud icon now on that save. So let me just tap onto that save. Are you sure you want to override this save? Your previous save data will be lost. Well, I'm assuming that it is the same thing that I'm trying to wipe over here. What I'm doing is just being doubly sure that this is definitely now a cloud save. So what I'm going to do is just tap on X to confirm, saving. Okay, so as far as I can see there is now only one save point on the PS5, because I'm assuming that now what it is doing, it is now looking at the cloud for the save data. So although the PS5 does actually have a number of saves within like the PS5 itself, from this what we're looking at, it definitely is suggesting that we are now going to a cloud save option. So what I'm now going to do is to switch back over onto the PC, and I think it is now going to sync us directly to this, which is now the most up-to-date cloud save from the PS5. Okay, so having now just done that save on the PS5, which definitely looked like it was saving to the cloud, which I'm assuming now is going to synchronize, let me just do the whole launch process again here on the PC. So first of all, I'm just going to go to the GOG Galaxy launcher, press play here for Cyberpunk, and then in a second we then should get that secondary launch as well. There we go. So I'm going to click play from here. Now once again, what I'm going to do here is just to fast forward through this until I get to the menu. Okay, so back to the main menu then on the PC, and what I'm going to do is go to load game. And oh, there we go. Okay. So as you can see here, where it says cross progression, it is now actually all synchronized. And as we can see here, this was that last save that I just done on the PS5. So let me just launch this. I'll just quickly scan this just to make sure it definitely was that last save point that I'd jumped into the game on. If you just give us a moment, not too sure how long. Yes, there we go. That was definitely the last save point on the PS5. Okay, so as it stands right now, everything is all synchronized for crossplay between my PS5 and my PC.